What's going on, everybody? It's been a hot minute. Y'all want to go to a car show? Apparently I gotta go judge this thing today. Anyhow, I was wanting to go and get the thing repainted before all this, but I did not have time. I bought the blue rattle can to respray this thing a while ago and just haven't done it. So, yeah, she's still running good. Did a little mod to the turbo. I don't know if you can hear that in the video. Alright, so we just wrapped up at this fine eating establishment. Car is set up, ready to go. I'm going to be following that guy over to the car show. And we'll be checking this shit out. I'll catch you all in a few. Ready to go, Odie? Everything's starting to roll in. I'd imagine we got a little bit. It didn't start up till 9:30, so yeah, buddy. Pretty clean little RSX. Hell yeah. Anyhow, I'll put the camera back up once everybody starts rolling in. Nice. Hell yeah. Otis, come here, buddy. Okay, so true to fashion, I'm pretty bad about getting stuff done, like chronological order, and get stuff done, you know, film everything all in one weekend and go. So it's a couple days after the car show. Honda's still doing good, but it did develop a little bit of an oil leak off my turbo drain, which I will show you in this video why you don't use these little cheap bullshit fittings. Yeah, I've got some nice ones here that are made in the US, XRP fittings, with some nice black braided hose. So I'm going to pull that out of here and make a nice new drain line for it, because I've got to move some stuff. And anybody that's been paying attention will notice that something is missing, which I said before it had to go. So the Plymouth is gone, and I got that thing. That's a cool new toy. So that's going to be like upcoming stuff. This thing's pretty sweet, actually. But, you know, it ain't nothing special like a Cobra or anything, but she runs good, she sounds good, and the interior on this thing is just fucking minty. I mean, aside from me getting dirt and stuff on the front driver's seat. But I mean, damn, I'm happy with this thing. But anyhow, that and it's already got a cool exhaust on it. But anyhow, yes, I like this one. She ain't half bad. So we'll get this scooted over so we can get the Honda in there. Don't have to go far though, I'm just getting it up out of the way. But anyhow, more is to come on this one. The main focus, the car everybody actually likes. And then if not for, you know, taxation is theft, I'd be doing videos on this. But right now, I got royally screwed by Department of Revenue. It cost me $4,200 this year. So that completely destroyed what little bit of money I had to go and get the block machined. So that's sitting on the back burner, and I haven't pulled the motor because it runs and drives and moves under its own power right now. And I'm not going to pull it out of there until I have money to get it out and then immediately send the block to get machined. Anyhow, I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, I went through and did some more touch-ups on it and re-cleaned up all the paint marker lines and stuff. Or at least for now, just to kind of church it up for the car show. I went through and I painted the deck plate and stuff in the back there for where I basically got rid of the entire spare tire well for my diffuser setup. But you know, I actually had someone accuse me of this shit being PVC. Like, dude, this is it's all aluminum. And it's not just the little piece there. Like, I even got my own panel up in here to block it all up. But anyhow, yeah, it's not fucking cheap plastic. It's real. But yeah, anyhow, I'm gonna get this thing fired up, moved over, and yeah, we'll make a cool little AN fitting line, which I'm sure half you people already know. But if you don't know, this would be a cool little video to show you how to make one of those lines, just to cap off the car show video, which I think I had a pretty cool little pull getting on the highway and stuff with it. I did some turbo stuff, which you'll actually be able to hear in the video, which I actually used a good camera for once. So yeah, let me get this moved and I'll pick you back up. Alright, it's a little dusty, a little bit of pollen crap. So anyhow, the issue I'm running into is most of the time with these fittings, this side here, yeah, it's supposed to be loose, has a little cone fitting, it pulls up tight, no issue. The problem is these aftermarket, well, they're all aftermarket, but the Chinese fittings, they do this. Yeah, that is a major problem. And most of them, when you get them, they won't be like this. They'll be nice and tight and they'll seal. But I'm guessing there's like a cheap plastic or nylon or whatever in there that can't take the heat. And after you run them for a little while, they get loose and then they start leaking. So I just used what I had at the time because, again, this is a budget build. And yeah, garbage fittings. So I've got nice fancy new XRP fittings that don't have play and are made out of good quality materials here in the United States. So I'm going to pop that line off, which comes off the base of my turbo over there and curves down to the pan. So I'm going to take that guy off, kind of get a ballpark of the length to cut this other line down to, slap a couple of these fittings on there and get that turbo drain done. Alright, so I crawled underneath there and broke the fittings loose real quick, but I figured this would be probably the best time because it's the best look anyone's ever going to really get at this little how I've got this thing set up. That's my little AMR 500 supercharger. So it's hard to see, but I made my own pipe that comes off the back that wraps around and then goes under the supercharger, comes up over there, and then up to my cold side of the turbo. And then my exhaust, my outlet of the blower, focus, comes out, makes a hard 90 right into the intercooler. And here's the big thing when you're compounding these things to keep it from running away, is your wastegate, your boost reference, when you're twin charging, you want the sum total of boost controlling your wastegate, not just what's coming off the turbo. So let's say if I go and I run my reference to here, all right, it's going to regulate this bad boy at, you know, about 10 pounds. But the problem is it's controlling this at 10 pounds, not that guy over there after it compresses it further. So you get a kind of a runaway boost situation where the wastegate is going, no, you're only doing 10 pounds, you're fine. Well, you're compressing it further, and then all of a sudden you're seeing 15, 20 pounds of boost coming out of the blower. And then you run into issues like I did where it tries to lift the cylinder head off the block. Now granted, I was a full different situation where my wastegate was actually stuck and it buried my boost gauge at over 30 psi because that's where it stops, and it went past it. That was a catastrophic failure for this poor little car. But anyhow, that was not because of that. That was because the bellow in the actual frickin' external wastegate down there, that little blue guy, had gotten a tear in it. But anyhow, snake this guy out of here. And this is my garbage line that we are replacing. Which, I mean, it looks all fine and dandy, but the thing is, like I said before with the other one, right there, that's the problem, and it leaks from right there, and then it runs inside the braiding, and then collects down at the bottom because the oil is actually following inside the steel braid on the outside of the rubber hose. It just makes a fucking massive mess, and then you can see where it's dripping, and oh, look at that, I've actually smacked the ground a couple times with it. Didn't realize that. But anyhow, that's what we're going to make a new one of, which actually I may not even need to cut the line I've got because I might have gotten just enough by mistake. I thought I got too much. But now I figure once I go and get that curve to it to wrap around to where it goes in the block, that might be exactly what I need. Holy crap. Yeah, I hit the nail right on the head. Alright, cool. So that makes my job a little easier. I don't even have to cut this down. I just got to put the fittings on it. And we'll stick it back in the car. Okay, so AN fittings are usually pretty freaking simple. I always go through and like I've got brake assembly lube over here is what I'm using, but I've seen guys put anti-seize and stuff on the threads. I like that because it doesn't affect any rubber stuff. It's safe for everything. You know, it's good for brake stuff. And it'll lube up the rubber so it'll slide together. So anyhow, you have your two fittings here, or two halves of your fitting I should say. The actual line goes into this guy until it bottoms out right before the threads. And then once it's on there, this guy's going to slide in here. And then as you tighten it down, it's going to force it in there and it's just going to squeeze it tight and you're good. Pretty simple. Anyhow, we'll take this guy. Have no idea if I'm still in frame. Just gotta force that sucker in there. Man, what a bear. Give it a little twist, get it push in there. There we go, and now you can see that it's up to the threads. I think I'll push it in just a hair more, but anyhow, now I'll lube this guy up just a little bit more. And then I'm going to put this guy inside my soft jaws of the vise. And I want to do is keep pressure pushing down on the actual hose to try and push it all together as I tighten it. Because a lot of times what happens is guys that don't know, which, you know, can't blame you for not knowing what you weren't told, we'll go through and try to assemble this without the open air like this. And what happens is as you tighten this, it just pushes the hose out of the back of it and it looks like it's put together. And then as soon as it sees any kind of pressure, it blows the freaking hose off and you have no idea why the hell it did it. And yeah, so anyhow, good way to prevent that is put some painter's tape on there. So as you're putting it together, you'll see if it pushes the hose out or not. But yeah, I'll reposition and stick this guy together. Let's see if I can do this without completely blocking everything and you can actually see what the hell I'm doing here. So I'm doing is pushing down on this to get it to catch threads. Now if you're really fucking slick, you'll go through and put a bunch of painter's tape on these fittings so you don't scratch them up or hurt the anodizing on them. For me, this is kind of a race car thing and it's down underneath the car. You're never gonna really see it, so I'm just gonna deal with it. It'll look fine. I don't really care. But yeah, you get the idea. Then you come in with your wrench and just keep pressure down on that hose as you're tightening it so it'll all go together. Alright, so now we got a thing that actually resembles a drain line. You can fish this guy back down in there and get her all hooked back up and show you the finished product here, which unfortunately I don't really have much else to do other than to get that guy hooked up and then go edit, because I've got some footage from the car show that I'm not 100% of what all I can and cannot use, because I know there's copyrighted music in there, and I didn't get to film a whole lot because I was actually one of the judges at the car show. So it is what it is. Not to mention, you know, some of it involved other parties that, well, I may or may not be able to show you guys footage of the shenanigans on the way to said car show. But well, I'll see what I can do. I'm going to try my best on that one. Alright, so now we got that guy stuck in there. Get some light on the situation. Yeah, maybe. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, I've got my fresh XRP fitting. Line does a little curl down under there, runs into the pan. But yeah, there's my janky little blower set up. That's being fed by my little turbo. I'm sure you'll hear it in the video, but so the mod with these turbos, it does absolutely nothing for power whatsoever. It just makes it sound really fucking cool. So inside, I don't know if I can find a spot in there where you can actually even see where I did it. No, you can't see it from the outside. But anyways, inside here, where the actual housing, it curves away and then the blades are curved to match it. You do like a little, I think it's like a 3/16, just a couple. I did 4 of them in here, 4 little dimple holes around it. And what happens is with those little holes, make sure you don't chamfer them or anything, just straight up holes. As the blades pass over them, just the velocity going across those little holes makes these things whistle and just fucking scream like a freaking diesel truck turbo. They sound cool as shit. But anyhow, just a cool little thing to, hey, I want it to make cool noises. It's still my awesome little eBay turbo that I've rebuilt twice. But the second time I actually bought like name brand replacement bushings and stuff from, I don't know who actually makes them, but the packet said Greddy on it. And I know Greddy did make the little bushings and shit. It's just universal shit. But anyways, I got it from them. I did have to shim the shaft in there slightly different to get it to tighten down and not squeeze on the impeller. So it didn't quite fit perfect. I had to mess with it a little bit to make it all sit and spin freely in there like it's supposed to. But ever since I did that, it's been doing good. You know, it's hasn't been smoking, hasn't been burning oil. It's pretty darn good for a, you know, Chinese turbo. But anyhow, the object was to make horsepower on a budget, and that it does. But anyhow, I'm going to call it a wrap. But that one there, I know I've been horrible about trying to stick to any kind of schedule whatsoever with this whole YouTube adventure of just kind of randomly putting videos up I was doing them every couple weeks, and it's been like once a month kind of thing. And then I've got like plans to do big videos like with the Mustang to build the motor, and I've got a video, I've already recorded everything about balancing all the internals and stuff, but I don't have enough to really put together a video. So I don't know if you guys want to see just little me sitting around like, oh hey, this is how you use the scale, this is how you balance out and match your pistons, wrist pins, and rods, you know. But that is coming. It's further down the pipeline, but it's there. I don't know if I want to just go through and throw it out there now. And then my dumb ass got involved in e-bikes. Well, not e-bikes, but e-moto. And I got myself one of those Hey Bike Villains, the electric pit bikes, which is really good out of the box. I really like that thing. And then I just went ham and I made my own custom bracketry and everything to put Yamaha YZ65 plastics on it. And I got graphics for it and a chain guide, and then I got a tuner for it, and then that just snowballed very quickly, and I didn't like where the foot pegs were, so I chopped the chassis and moved the foot pegs back to be more of a dirt bike position. And then a buddy of mine bought one, and we modded his a little bit, and then he got another one. So I think we're gonna do like a little stock versus lightly modded versus ridiculously modded one. But I have no idea if that's what everybody wants to see, but I would love to get some feedback from everybody. Yeah, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do you guys want to see? Like, comment, subscribe, all that crap. But anyhow, yeah, catch you on the next one.